This is the MRCOOL, a 24,000 BTU 5th Gen ductless mini-split in clean white. The indoor unit looks slim and modern, about 40 inches wide with a gentle curve and a simple LED display behind the panel, so it doesn't scream appliance on the wall. The outdoor condenser is a sturdy, powder-coated metal box with a compact footprint. The pre-insulated quick connect line set is wrapped in white foam, and I added a line hide cover to keep everything tidy on the exterior. I've had this system running for 6 months, and I'm sharing exactly how it's been to install, use, and live with day to day. From my experience, the DIY promise is real, but it's not a one-hour project. I set mine up over a weekend for an open concept space of roughly 950 square feet with high ceilings. I'm reasonably handy, but not an HVAC pro. The biggest time blocks were prepping a level pad for the condenser, drilling a 3.5-inch hole through the wall, and running a dedicated 230-volt circuit to an outdoor disconnect to meet code. I handled most of the work and hired an electrician for the circuit because high voltage is not something I like to guess on. If you've never done this kind of project, think of it as a solid home improvement job, not plug and play. The manuals are decent, but a bit generic. Short manufacturer videos and a few detailed user videos help me fill in gaps. The quick connect line set is the star. It's pre-charged from the factory, so there's no vacuum pump, gauges, or refrigerant handling. I connected the flared ends with a torque wrench to spec, double-checked the O-rings, and only then opened the service valves. A tip that saved me trouble: coil excess line in a wide, gentle loop behind the condenser and avoid tight bends. I also kept the condensate drain sloped downward the whole way, so water can't back up. One hiccup I ran into was self-inflicted. I mislanded the communication wire the first time and got a communication error on startup. Swapping the wires to match the labels on both ends cleared it immediately. After that, it fired right up. Key features that convinced me were the Energy Star rating and the 22.7 SEER2 efficiency, the variable speed DC inverter compressor, the pre-charged 25-foot line set, and the SmartHVAC app with voice control. SEER2 is a seasonal efficiency score for cooling. Higher means better energy performance across typical weather and loads. In heating season, HSPF is the rough equivalent, and this unit's 9.5 rating puts it in efficient territory for a heat pump. The inverter matters because it lets the compressor speed up or slow down instead of only turning on or off. That keeps temperature stable and usually cuts power use. Day to day, the comfort is excellent. It cools that 950-ish square foot area easily, even when outside temps push into the 90s. I measured a 12 to 16 degree inside within the first hour on tough afternoons, and it settles into a steady, quiet cruise once it reaches set point. On mild winter mornings, I use heat mode instead of space heaters. Warm-up is quick, and the air doesn't feel dry or harsh. Dry mode has also been handy. It's a dehumidification setting that runs the coil cold and the fan low to pull moisture without blasting the room with cold air. On humid days, the condensate line flows pretty steadily, which is exactly what you want to see. Noise levels are a strong point. The indoor unit is library quiet on low and still gentle on medium. The outdoor unit has a soft, low hum that disappears into normal backyard noise. Vibration was better after I added rubber isolation pads under the condenser feet and leveled it carefully. Inside, I had a small panel rattle early on that turned out to be one slightly loose mounting screw. Tightening it fixed the buzz for good. The app setup took a few minutes because it wants a 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi connection. Once paired, it's been reliable. I love being able to bump the temperature from my phone, check status on the way home, or set schedules. Voice control with Alexa and Google Assistant works as expected. Simple commands to change modes and set temperatures. The Follow Me feature on the remote is surprisingly useful. It reads the temperature where the remote sits, so if I'm working at the dining table, the system targets that spot instead of the wall unit's sensor. Little things like that make the space feel more consistently comfortable. In my opinion, the performance per dollar is the headline. My power bills are noticeably lower compared to the portable and window units I used before, and I don't hear the constant on-off cycling I used to get with older systems. The 24K size is rated for around 800 to 1,050 square feet. It's perfect for a big living area, bonus room, loft, workshop, or a small open apartment, as long as your insulation is reasonable and doors are mostly open so air can move. If your space is chopped into closed rooms or has poor insulation and a lot of sun load, consider that you might need multiple zones or a different layout to get even comfort. Installation details that helped me as a non-pro. I used a proper 3.5-inch hole saw for a clean sleeve through the wall, sealed the sleeve edges inside and out with foam and exterior-grade sealant, and mounted the indoor unit so the filter door clears the ceiling for maintenance. I registered the warranty immediately and kept photos of the serial numbers in my install. This model lists 5-year parts and 7-year compressor coverage. From my experience, parts-only warranties are common for DIY systems, which means labor is on you. That's worth understanding up front. Some techs won't service DIY mini-splits, and those who do can charge premium rates. I'm comfortable swapping boards or fans if I need to, but not everyone wants that. Reliability so far has been solid. I'm 6 months in with no leaks, no odd smells, and stable performance. I pulled the washable filters once a month during peak pollen season and hosed the outdoor coil gently to keep airflow strong. I also set the fan to run for a short period after cooling to help the coil dry, which reduces musty smells. The only tweak I made after a month was lowering the swing angle to avoid a chilly draft when I'm sitting right under the unit. Adjusting vane direction solved it. The sizing guidance on the product page matched my application, but I'll add this. Cooling a number on paper and cooling a space you live in can feel different. If you're on the fence between sizes, look at your insulation, sun exposure, and ceiling height. A 24K unit in a well-insulated 900 to 1,000 square foot space is a great fit. In a poorly insulated shop with bay doors opening all day, you'll still get improvement, but don't expect meat locker cold. Heat pumps do a lot of things well, but beating pure conduction losses through thin walls isn't one of them. I'd recommend this for patient DIYers who are comfortable drilling a large hole in a wall, lifting bulky equipment with a second set of hands, and following electrical best practices. If you're unsure on the electrical, hire that piece out. If you want a set-it-and-forget-it install with a local company on the hook for parts and labor for years, a professionally installed system from a mainstream brand might match your expectations better. Neither choice is wrong. It's about your comfort with risk and how much sweat equity you want to put in. A few practical notes for anyone new to mini-splits. Inverter systems don't blast at full power and shut off like old window units. They ramp up, then settle at a low speed to hold temperature. That's normal and efficient. Keep at least a few feet of open space in front of the indoor unit so the sensor reads the room, not a curtain or bookshelf. Clean filters regularly. In cooling season, expect to see a steady drip outside from the condensate drain. If you ever see water inside, the drain line probably isn't sloped enough or is clogged. It's perfect for someone upgrading a hot living room, finishing a garage, converting an attic, or creating comfy space in a workshop without tearing into existing ductwork. The value of avoiding new ducts and a full mechanical upgrade is significant. The look is clean, the noise is low, and the control options are modern. As a package, it has delivered exactly what I hoped for. In conclusion, after 6 months, I'm happy with the MRCOOL DY-24-HP-WM-230D25O. The install took time, the instructions needed some supplementing, and I had to be careful with wiring and line routing. The payoff has been strong, quiet cooling and heating, lower energy use, and easy app control. The efficiency numbers aren't just marketing. They show up on my utility bill and in how smoothly the system holds temperature. I'm aware that long-term service can be tricky and that the warranty is parts-focused, so I registered everything and saved my documentation. If you're a hands-on homeowner who wants modern comfort without paying thousands in labor, this is a compelling option. If you want a single phone call to cover parts and labor for a decade, this isn't that. From my experience, it hits the sweet spot for capable DIYers who value performance, quiet, and control. Check the comments of this video for a link to see the current pricing of the MRCOOL 24,000 BTU.